They're the first people who will feel the full force of Cyclone Alfred, those on the islands off Brisbane's coast. Despite being right in the firing line, a handful of locals ain't going anywhere. Michael Bullock runs Coffee in Cylinders on North Stradbroke Island. I chatted to him late this afternoon. Michael, things are looking a little wild and woolly, starting to get a little hairy?
Yeah, the anticipation's a little bit hairy in the mind, I think.
That's it, isn't it? I mean, the wait is almost as bad, and we know that islands like Stradbroke are the ones who are going to cop it first. How are you feeling about what's coming?
I've been through quite a few, and yeah, always what you think you're prepared for, something different will come out of it. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit anxious. Family have phoned and friends have been asking what's going on.
I know a lot of people on the island have evacuated. You decided to stay. There's a few of you. How do your family feel about that decision?
Well, I'm an optimist. I was hoping it would just blow away and I'd be open for coffee this weekend. The sun would be shining. I was just being optimistic, but yeah, I'm not going. I'm part of the place. So
I like your optimism though, you know. I feel like going through something like this, you need a bit of that. I want to ask you about your shack, because I know it was built by a couple of fishermen back in 1947. How confident are you that it can withstand this?
They were good fishermen. They weren't legendary shack builders. So it's not exactly square or level, but the things lasted since then. And back in the 70s, it was like cyclone after cyclone, I think. And the place has survived. It's sort of hunkered down in the dune. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
So you reckon it can survive one more cyclone?
Yeah, well, last time we had a cyclone, it was ex-cyclone Oswald, and it tracked along behind the range, and that was the most horrifying experience. Had to put a wetsuit on in the middle of the night and carry garden sleepers up and sit them over the sheets of fibro that were flapping about. But after that, I said, I want this shack to be cyclone proof, so I have actually replaced the fibro with traditional building materials, and it should be right, yeah.
We can only wait and see. But look, I want to know that, because you've gone through a couple of cyclones, but a lot of people in southeast Queensland, northern New South Wales they've never experienced anything like this. Just give us a bit of an idea of what it is like.
Oswald, that was horrifying. It was like a jet plane with the northerly winds coming straight in off the sea. When the cyclone passes during the night or early tomorrow morning, we're going to get winds, strong winds and consistent winds from the north, and that's going to knock trees over and may cause some substantial damage. Well, I hope it's not too noisy, because I was hoping to watch the Dolphins play the Rabbitohs tonight.
I love it. That's your optimism again right there. I love hearing it.
Yeah, I'd rather be optimistic than pessimistic. This is nature. You've got to experience all sides of it. So the noise is unnerving, but I'm half deaf, so I'll just sleep on my good side.
What are you most worried about?
Oh well, if it was a higher category than what's forecast to hit, you know, I've seen images of Darwin way back, and where people totally lost their roof, so that'd spoil my, you know, internal architecture, and it'd just be a headache. I hope it isn't a full-on disaster for southeast Queensland, because this is a big pocket of population, and yeah, insurance, it'd just be incredible what you'd have to pay to cover you.
I think that's a lot of the apprehension, isn't it? That it is such a vast stretch. We're talking more than 500 kilometres, which could be hit and impacted, and the enormity of that is sort of, it's hard to get your head around. And then if we talk about business, right? Like times are tough already. I mean, how about you? Like, who knows how long you're going to have to shut up shop for?
Not even thinking about it. I'm so proud of this community. So, the shops have stayed open as long as they could, and if there's a little opportunity for them to supply something, there's you know, social media is working really well. Yesterday, the guy at the prawn shack, he was getting rid of all his prawns, and I'm having prawns for about 5 days straight now for dinner. Yeah, we'll be right. We're used to quiet and busy times, and we've just got to take this and hope that Easter's a lot nicer.
Yeah, well, you're all sticking together, aren't you? What else can you do?
Yeah, there's only a few of us.
Hey, speaking of your optimism, who do you think's going to win out of the Dolphins and the Rabbitohs?
Oh, the ones that can handle the wet. They're not playing here, they're playing somewhere else. But yeah, go the Dolphins. And I was already mad before this interview, so I'm committed.
I don't know if that's optimism. I think that's delusional, isn't it? You think the Dolphins are going to win?
Yeah.
Hey, look after yourself, all right? We're thinking about all of you, and I hope your Dolphins get up too.
Yeah, we'll be right. Everyone knows what to do, and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Good luck, the rest of you.
What a character, huh? We'll check in on Michael and his shack tomorrow to see how he's faring. Well, after the islands comes the mainland, and Dan Nolan is in Brisbane. Dan, people feel like they've been waiting an eternity for Alfred to arrive, but the alert level has just been raised.
It has been, Ali. I'm standing here at Cleveland Point, so the Stradbroke Island where you were just speaking to is about 14 kilometres that way, and 2.7 million residents of Brisbane are over this way and here behind me. Now, right here where I am in Redland City Council area, just in the last few hours, an emergency alert has been issued for all the residents here to take shelter now in the strongest part of their home. Just in the last 10 minutes, these really strong gusts of wind have been picking up again here in Cleveland as that cyclone ever so slowly makes its way towards the coast. That same emergency alert was sent out to Gold Coast residents this afternoon, and the Gold Coast really has been copping the brunt of Alfred so far. These 200 millimetres of rain has already fallen at Coolangatta Airport in the past 48 hours, and the impact that that's having on trees there already is quite significant. Anyone who's been on holidays to Coolangatta would know those enormous Norfolk pines along the esplanade. Well, one of those came crashing down today. Luckily, no one was hurt by it, but we're being told that that's the kind of thing that's going to happen as these cyclonic winds come in. 24,000 residents on the Gold Coast are already without power, and Energex, the supplier, has told them that they won't be able to get out now to restore any of that until the cyclone passes. So if your power's out there, it's going to now be out for several days, and that's a distinct possibility anywhere in the path of this cyclone. It's also taking big chunks out of the coastline there. Earlier today, a surf life-saving tower at Main Beach tumbled over and into the sand from some of those huge waves that have just been relentlessly pummeling the coast there at the Gold Coast for several days. And really, it looks like once Alfred does hit, that that coastline could be changed forever, because look at what's happening there now before the full force has even arrived, Ali.
And look, we have seen a bit of complacency creep in because this thing is moving so slowly, but even just late today, a warning of the dangers. In northern New South Wales, a man missing in floodwaters.
Yeah, that's correct, Ali. A man who went driving in floodwaters, who wasn't listening to those warnings, it would seem, driving in his four-wheel drive at Dorrigo, west of Coffs Harbour. He was washed off a bridge in flooding. He was able to get out of his vehicle. He was able to cling to a tree for half an hour, but then he was swept away, and now a massive search is underway to try to find him. But the complacency is happening. It is happening in Brisbane. The weather's been so up and down today. It's been windy and rainy like this, but there's other points where it's been hot and sunny and people are sort of going, cyclone, what cyclone? Well, you need to buckle up because it is going to come. It's going to cross the coast some point tomorrow, and it's better to be safe than to be sorry, Ali.
Absolutely, and it is getting close. Thanks for that, Dan. And for some, it is too late. The window to leave has well and truly shut. So when the message comes through to get out, you listen. Our crew did, experiencing an evacuation firsthand.
Everybody's pretty much packed up and gone and left, evacuated.
Lismore knows how to do a good evacuation.
So we've just finished producing and filming our story for A Current Affair tonight, and we have a text to evacuate. We have to evacuate Lismore. We are in the evacuation zone. So we need to get out of our accommodation and we need to go to higher ground for the night. So we've got to get out of here. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Thousands of people in Lismore's flood zone sent a text message warning. It's time to go. The river is rising.
Chloe, we are in the evacuation zone here. What are your plans?
To pack up everything and get out.
Chloe and her family are the last in their street to get out.
You're leaving a bit last minute.
Yeah, we're trying to get the last things done and we'll probably be getting out before the roads are all blocked off.
Yes, the roads are starting to close now, and as you can see, the weather is picking up, the rain, the wind.
And I don't think anybody feels like getting on a roof.
In town, Nick's family has been running their fruit shop for 3 generations.
Nick, you guys are the last business to evacuate.
Yes.
You've left it to the last minute.
We have, but we have a plan, and we kind of knew that we probably would have to go today. And then when we got those evacuation warnings last night, well, we thought, okay, we better come down. So we came down at like 6 o'clock last night, and 3 hours time we had most of it out.
The flood is unwelcome, but as we know, not uncommon, the locals know when and how to act.
Why'd you leave it to the last minute?
I guess we didn't really feel that it was going to maybe be as bad as what it is, but I mean, it's progressed overnight, obviously.
In 2022, where I'm standing right now was underwater. That flood was 14.4 metres. The levee at Wilson's River is just over 10 metres, so once the river hits that, water will start inundating Lismore's CBD.
Graham knows exactly what that's like.
2022, where did the water come up to?
That bottom of that vent up there.
And did you decide to stay then?
Yep.
And did you lose everything last flood?
Yep.
All gone. Did you have insurance?
He was evacuated by boat, but still, this time, Graham's deciding to stay.
Run me through your escape plan, Graham. What happens if the water rises?
That's it. Depends how much it rises, as long as there's enough water to float it. And we need to get out of here. We're in it and out and gone.
Thousands have gone, thousands have stayed across northern New South Wales. The power is out for many, and already there's emergency calls for help.
We have over 29,000 dwellings under evacuation order, 19,000 people involved in that.
If you're one of the few people that are remaining in your house and you're in an evacuation area, you're one of the only people in your street left, and you will literally be by yourself.
This is only the beginning. The end could be days away. Lismore is called the heart of the Northern Rivers, and there's a reason why. Everyone here does it with heart and soul.
Thank you, Margaret. Now,
My pleasure.
you stay safe, and we'll see you on the other side of Alfred.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, guys.
And Zarisha Bradley is in Lismore and it is wet. Zarisha, that is miserable. All eyes are on the river. How fast is it rising?
Lily, it's actually quite scary just how quickly this river is rising. Take a look behind me. The river is currently sitting at just around 7 metres. To give you some perspective there, this time yesterday, the river was only sitting at around 1.3 metres. Now, I don't know if you can see that yellow sign down there behind me. We were able to walk all the way down past that yellow sign there, no worries at all. Well, now, obviously, it's underwater. So things are moving very quickly here in Lismore, and Tropical Cyclone Alfred hasn't even hit yet. As you just heard, the town's levee is at just over 10 metres. That is how much water Lismore can hold. Now, what will happen if and when water levels do hit that 10-metre mark? Well, an alarm will sound right across the town. Now, there's a very real possibility that that could happen because it is forecast that 9.7 metres will hit that in the early hours of tomorrow morning. And if we know anything about Tropical Cyclone Alfred, it is that he is very unpredictable, Ali. So it's only a matter of time. What will Alfred bring?
Yeah, that is scary how quickly it's rising, and you and the team go get somewhere dry. Thank you, Zarisha. And well, further south on the New South Wales north coast is the fishing and tourist town of Yamba. Steve Marshall is there, and Steve, there's been so much focus further north, but you're feeling it there too. What are locals expecting?
Well, good evening to you, Ellie. Things have really escalated
here at Yamba today, with wind gusts reaching or exceeding in excess of 100 kilometres an hour, and you can probably tell that's happening right this minute. Yamba, I mean, look at this. Look at what that is doing to the swell out there. This is 7, 10 foot, something like that. There was a forecast, and it is absolutely hammering the Yamba coastline here. But, you know, I've been here many times and I've never seen it like this, Ellie. Yamba is a popular holiday spot, and I want to show you vision now of camping grounds that are usually bursting at the seams, even at this time of year. Well, they're nothing but parking lots now. I mean, the power is out across many parts of the region. Schools are closed. The ferry is shut down. It's on standby to see if it can help out the SES if needed. And locals have spent the past few days sandbagging, although it's tools down right now because they've done as much as they can. Now, Yamba is also home to the Clarence River. It is fast moving right now, and that feeds a town called Grafton. And you might well recall Grafton. It was also smashed in the 2022 floods, along with Lismore. And locals there, Ellie, are certainly holding their breath tonight.
Hey Steve, you've travelled up there by road from Sydney. There are a lot of towns on the way that we are not even talking about, but they're at real risk of flooding too.
Yeah, that's right, Ellie. Nambucca, Maxville, Kempsey, all these towns along the coast, you know, they are subject to huge river systems that are tipped to, well, widen and swell in the coming days, Ellie. But it's not just there and here. It's actually 300 kilometres even further south where I am right now at Port Macquarie. Port Macquarie has just had a fresh, gosh, it's getting windy now, a fresh evacuation order because 11 p.m. last night, an evacuation order was given to residents living along the Hastings River. That included an old folks' home. Now, can you imagine being woken up at 2 a.m. as they were and moved on to a facility at higher ground? That included a grandma called Roma, 85 years old, Ali. But that gives you a sense of you know, how much people are on edge here by pushing the panic button at 2 a.m. in the morning to get people to higher ground, Ellie.
Yep, that is such a vast area where people are going to be impacted by it. Well done there, Steve. Again, very challenging conditions. Appreciate it.